He's your shadow, she replied with a frown. He's too weak to live on his own, and if he was strong enough, I think he'd be a bigger monster than Deus without you around. You've been keeping him alive since '99. If he doesn't like the fact that he's a father, then he needs to face it, not hide from it. There's enough shitty fathers in the world, and it doesn't need more. We trot along past one of the massive MAS-CBS towers. I take it Psycho's not the only one with daddy issues? Now who's pushing buttons? She countered and sighed. I don't remember my mother or father, Blackjack. Maybe one of the other ponies inside me does. All I think of when I think about the word father is an empty feeling and an urge to kick something. I looked down the road and froze as I spotted a cluster of blue bars ahead. Then, suddenly, they flashed bright red. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's going on? From up ahead came a gunshot, then several gunshots. The lone remaining blue bar wobbled a little, and I spotted Psycho Shy flying back. Angry shouts filling the air. What did you do? I thought every damn pony loves you, she yelled, looking at a bloody bullet wound in her rear leg. You have kept up with just how many ponies have tried to kill me, haven't you? I pulled off the gauze around my neck and shoulders with my horn and wrapped it around her bleeding leg. I had no clue how sanitary it was, but none of us had healing potions and I didn't want her to leave a blood trail. What did you say to them? I said, make way for the mighty security pony, and they freaked out. I saw the pinpricks of torches and flashlights in the distance. If you are so good, why does every pony try to shoot you? You tell me, I asked, looking around. Iron Shot R&D was north of here. Or the weather station. On the other hoof, there was a red tunnel in the MAS-EBS buildings. At least I'd gone right by a door marked with the tower's name in my madcap dash. If the worst came to worst... The tower! Hurry! I said as we raced off the road to the south. Funny, last time I'd been here I hadn't appreciated just how big it was on the top of its hill. Psycho Shy flew sideways in front of me. Why are we running? I mean, even 4-1, we should be able to mop the floor with them. We can even make a game of it. Because I don't kill ponies if I can help it, I replied as I looked around for the door. Now, getting in might be a catch without P21 to work his magic. I saw the lights milling about in indecision. I didn't want to wait to find out which way they were going. They were close enough for EFS. They were trying to kill you, Blackjack? Doesn't that sort of give you the, carte blanche to tap dance on their heads? Psycho Shy said in the tones of trying to explain the obvious to an idiot. We reached the landing where weeks ago I'd smashed off Rose's horn trying to free some slaves, one of whom nearly tried to rape her later. Really, if I could go back to when I left the stable and tell my old self the things that I'd done, I don't think I would believe it. The broadcast tower loomed overhead, disappearing into the night gloom. I don't care. I don't want to kill ponies if I can help it. No good comes from dead ponies. That includes you, I said sharply, finding the door and the terminal beside it. Okay, terminals. Terminals. What were some of P21's tricks for terminals? Terminals 101. Poop. I looked at the screen and its selection of 12 passwords possible, all 10 characters long, gritting my teeth and closing my eyes and stretching out a hoof. I tapped a key. Exploding terminal in Blackjack's face? There was a beep, and I peeked at it. Access granted. That was easy. I glanced at Psycho Shy and Rampage watching me. The former was near pity and the latter with disappointment. Is she always such a spaz with terminals? Asked the Pegasus. You should see her with elevators, Rampage replied as the door clicked open and the pair entered. Given the past month, I think I'm just a little bit justified in my paranoia, I said after them. I slipped in and made sure Boo was inside with me, and pulled the door closed, muttering, Not a spaz. I knelt and held Boo's shoulders. I'm not a spaz, am I, Boo? The pale pony gave a carroty, filling, scented belch and then smiled at me. "I'll take that as a no," I said with a grin as I rubbed her ears. When in the wasteland, when you weren't getting shot at, you were looting. Once we got past the whole Reapers don't pay attitude, even Psycho-Shy got in on the act, and I found a pair of utility coveralls that would make do for minor protection and had even more pockets than my saddlebags offered. While we weren't exactly hurting on caps, every little bit helped, right? So I cleared out the utility spaces, collecting anything portable and sellable. "Reaper, a common pack mule," Psycho-Shy muttered as she held up a dead spark battery and tossed it over her shoulder. Boo did her best to help out, picking up a wrench in her mouth and bringing it to me, then a hammer, then a wrapper, then a rusty tin can. I gave her a snack cake and she ate her reward gleefully, and stopped bringing me junk. "Oh, come on. You're a flying, sullen, bad-tempered, psychotic Reaper pack mule. Nothing common about that," Rampage said brightly. "Big Daddy should just take over the finders. Honestly, it'd make life so much easier," the Pegasus grumbled as she put a good battery into her saddlebags. Really, what was it with some ponies not wearing barding? "We could just take whatever we wanted from them." "Right. Because folks dig through dangerous ruins just to turn over valuable goods out of the kindness of their hearts," I said as I stowed some pilot lights in my pockets. Psycho-Shy opened her mouth. "And when you threaten to kill them if they don't, well, then you're a raider. That makes you a bad pony, and that's bad." Psycho-Shy closed her mouth with a sour frown. "Would still be a lot simpler," she muttered. "You have to understand that Blackjack wasn't in a gang, Psycho. She has her own weird, twisted upbringing in a stable where they beat males and did whatever their boss did," Rampage said as she trotted over. "How's that so different?" Psycho-Shy asked in confusion. "Their boss wasn't the biggest or the strongest pony in the stable, or even the smartest. They followed her because she was the daughter of the previous boss, who was the daughter of the previous boss, and so on, even though she was nuttier than you," Rampage said, and I huffed, my ears burning. Really, it hadn't been that bad. Okay, maybe it had, but still, it was better than just taking whatever you wanted. "Are you serious? That's crazy," Psycho-Shy said, and pointed her hoof at me. "You're crazy. You seriously let her tell you what to do because her mother was boss and her grandmother was boss? None of you were going around, maybe we should stop this cunt and put someone who has a clue in charge or something?" "We tried it once, and almost killed every pony. Even then, we were getting around to doing it anyway," I replied defensively, turning on her. "It's just, in the stable, we were told that everything outside was death. We had to play our roles and do what we were told. We shared almost everything because the consequences of fighting was that we might break the stable. We couldn't do that. The stable was our whole world, and we knew that if something broke or went wrong, then every pony was dead." "Looks like you were right," Rampage replied, looking up at me. "Something went wrong and every pony died. So if the gangs are still alive and your stable's dead, then who has the better philosophy?" I frowned. How was she asking me? Smart ponies were supposed to answer questions like this. I was just a security pony. "We do," I defended. "Even if it failed, the stable lasted for 2 centuries, longer than any gang, and life was better out here. At least, for mares it was. I'm not saying it was perfect. I'm not saying that there weren't things wrong even before Deus broke in. I'm just saying that ponies working together is better than ponies killing, taking, and ruling over others. In the end, that was exactly how the stable fell apart." Both of them looked skeptical, but I supposed that was the best I was going to get. I noticed some stairs heading up. "Hey, I want to check out something upstairs while we're here," I said, nodding towards them. DJ Pony said that the towers in Hoofington were blind. I want to see if I can find out why. You know DJ Pony? Psycho Shy said skeptically as we made our way up to the MAS-CBS broadcast room. I glanced at Rampage, looking at me in confusion, and opened my mouth, then closed it again. Rampage just knew Homage as a nice 10-pony unicorn who threw us a dinner party. Well, we've met her personal assistant, Homage. That's kinda like knowing DJ Pony. Psycho Shy snorted and rolled her eyes. Meh. Homage was cooler than DJ Pony anyway. Inside the broadcast room was the familiar layout of terminals and monitors. On one, I saw a dozen or so ponies making their way further south towards Riverside, carrying a banner marked with the Black Towers. Another showed several small burned-out encampments. Megamart was in one, and a massive hole gaped right over where Gunn used to sit. I could barely make out Chapel in one screen. It looked dimmer and smaller without its little white church. But there was no missing the white dots of the graveyard all over the hillside. Oddly, though, more than half the screens weren't pointed at the ground but at the clouds. In the middle of the floor, in front of the controls, was something that didn't belong here. A terminal like the ones I'd seen Lighthooves using. This terminal, though, bore a slightly different logo. I reached out a hoof and watched as it melted around my limb. I swept my hoof back and forth several times, and each time just pulled it back to its original form. Whoa! Rampage gasped. Boo tried to pick one of the cloud cables in her mouth, or was trying to eat it. Either way, it didn't work, and she stuck her tongue out and backed away, definitely not liking cloud technology any more than the rest of us. Freaky! Psycho Shy agreed. What is it? An Enclave cloud terminal. Only Pegasi can touch it. No idea what it's doing here, though. I tried pressing a key with my magic, but that had no effect either. I have no idea how we're going to shut it down. No idea. Thought you were supposed to be a Reaper now. Psycho Shy snorted as she flew over the terminal. We smash it! No, wait! I yelled, wanting Glory or P21 to have a look at it. Unfortunately, Psycho Shy wasn't exactly the kind of waiting around pony. She brought her rear hooves down, and there was a low boom of thunder and crackle of lightning as glowing rainbow-colored circuits and wires disintegrated into a cloud of evaporating color and flickering light. The terminal rolled away in a carpet of mist, snaking along the cables where they connected to the broadcast controls at. Well, you have to admit there are some things that Psycho Shy excels at, Rampage said, and the Pegasus beamed. And I had to add, getting on my nerves to the list. I looked at the broadcast controls and tapped them a few times. At least I could tell Homage what I found. The studio lit up, and for a moment I thought it was empty. Then there was a microphone. The controls, but no Homage. Well, it wasn't like she was there all the time, right? I didn't know any way of leaving a message. Maybe I could write a note and tape it to the wall? Write it on a billboard? Something? Then I heard a soft sob over the speakers. I looked around and saw a knob marked volume and slowly turned it up. The sound of crying increased. Homage? I asked, then looked around at the controls. I spotted the Send to Linked Station button and pressed it. Homage. Then from below the studio control console rose the pale unicorn. She was a mess. A complete and total mess. Her eyes stared at the screen with a heartbroken glance. Blackjack? She asked thickly. There was only one reason she would look like that. Something bad had happened to little Pip. There was bad, and then there was bad.